1987, Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys was released and has been a cult phenomenon ever since. It tells the story of single mother Lucy Emerson and her two teenage sons Michael and Sam moving to the seaside town of Santa Carla, the murder capital of the world, full of seaside carnivals, hobos, partygoers, comic book enthusiasts, and bikie gangs. Where elder son Michael meets a beautiful woman called Star, where he is then caught in the middle of a mysterious punk rocker motorcycle gang led by David, played with sinister coolness and edge by Kiefer Sutherland.
You're eating maggots, how do they taste?
But this gang of teenage misfits aren't what they seem, as they are indeed vampires, and when Michael gets infected and starts to become a vampire himself, his younger brother Sam joins forces with the Frog Brothers, who claim to be comic book enthusiasts and vampire hunters, as they try to take down the town's evil bloodsuckers once and for all.
You're creature of the night, Michael. Just like out of a comic book. You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire.
Ever notice in the movie The Lost Boys, the actual term The Lost Boys never gets used? Nope, not once does someone say the title Lost Boys. Well, the title comes from the story Peter Pan. Boys got its name from the Lost Boys in Peter Pan. Surely because the vampires in the movie The Lost Boys represent youth who want to live forever and never grow up. In a weird way, you can kind of look at the vampires from The Lost Boys as the Lost Boys from Peter Pan if they had gone completely wrong, with the complications of teenagehood and the lust and danger that it brings. Number 6, The Lost Boys Comics.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly.
In recent years, Vertigo Comics has brought out a line of comic books which acts as a true sequel to the movie, in which our main heroes Michael, Sam and the Frog Brothers are still fighting to take down more vampires who plague the town of Santa Carla. The comics are beautifully illustrated and totally capture the mood and feel and general look of the movie. And given that a huge subplot of The Lost Boys is comic books, and how comic books can somewhat reflect real life, it's actually quite surprising that a comic series didn't come earlier.
I told you, I don't like horror comics.
Think of it more as a survival manual.
I love how this issue revolves around the big, oiled-up, muscle-bound saxophone player, who we briefly see in the movie. In the comics, it is revealed that he is known as the Believer, and actually plays a huge part in the scheme of things in the Lost Boys universe, other than just being a random saxophone player, that is. The big question is, as who? Stiller said that he went to an audition, and also in the audition waiting room was Kiefer Sutherland and the two Coreys. So this means he may have either been auditioning for the role of main antagonist David, or Sam Emerson, or one of the Frog Brothers. Personally, I like to think he was auditioning for the role of older brother Michael, which would have been an interesting take, and the movie was also to feature the return of the David character, played by Kiefer Sutherland. But sadly, the sequel never happened, and what we got was, well, this. Well, this is because all the scenes involving Minter were deleted, as Kelly Jo Minter played a character called Maria, who worked in the video store owned by the character Max, where the character Lucy would end up working too. But it seems that she actually had a substantial role in the movie, which for whatever reason was removed. That's right, an entire character was cut out of the movie. In fact, there was actually a lot of scenes cut from The Lost Boys. One that stands out to me is when Lucy gets apprehended by the vampire bikie gang as they start circling her. It's really creepy and makes them more intimidating, in a scene that ends with Lucy being rescued by the character Max, which no doubt would have ensured the audience's trust in the character, and thus adding to the shock of the revelation in the end that he is the head vampire.